Welcome back on this glorious and amazing day. In the first the first 4 videos we talked about life is unfair and how to deal with it when children come and say something about us parents that we did that's not fair. So indeed, life is unfair, yet every individual has the responsibility to make it as fair as possible. And even when a child or an adult, a spouse, a friend, a colleague comes and complains to us about how life is unfair to them, to someone outside of us, it's important just to listen. Just to listen and validate. Now, I did mention from the beginning that there's a very, very different aspect, and this is outstanding and phenomenal about life is unfair. And I must confess that I had the wrong idea for a good 35, 40 years of my life. By nature, I can't take credit for it because it's by nature. I try to be a very, very fair person. And I do things that are fair. Regardless if I could cheat or not cheat, I try to be fair. And usually the way people are, they expect that from the world around them. So there's one example that comes to mind that just drove me crazy for so many years. I have 50 examples, but I'm only going to share with you one because you might get bored if you hear other examples. And that's me pulling over to a stop sign or to a red light where I'm allowed to make a right turn. And I stop the car at the stop sign and I'm about to make a right turn, which I could because I made a stop and I have to make, and I go, no, there's a car coming from the left side and I'm watching the car come straight towards me. So because the car comes towards me, I'll wait there. And for whatever reason, when you're driving, every second feels like 10 minutes. So if I wait for 3 seconds, holy moly, that's already 40 minutes. And you know what I'm going to say now. And the last minute, they make a left right in front of you. They didn't pass by you. So technically, you could have gone and make your right. Because they if they would put their flashers on, if they would put their signal on, you would see that they have the intention, which is, by the way, the right thing to do. It's their intention for them to make a right, which would be on my left. So even if they're coming towards me, I could always make a right. And I used to get so upset, and I used to eat my heart, and I used to get frustrated. Why can't people do the right thing? Yes, I always do the flashes, even if I'm driving at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm changing lanes. There's not one car. I just keep the habit of doing the right things. Just put your blinkers on whenever you're changing lanes, whenever you're turning from one street to another street. Just do it. I don't know, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I had a talk with the coach that I get to meet in the mirror. I had a talk with him. And I decided to switch my neural pathways. I decided to switch the way I think and I perceive life. And it was a difficult pill to swallow. And I said something that my ears never heard, the ears of my heart, the ears of my mind. And I said, son, might be painful, but it's going to be easier for you for the rest of your life. And I go, what is it? Life is not fair. People will be unfair. That is not the wish. That's not the theory. That's not the thought. That's the reality. Life is unfair. And I remember sitting there and saying, I think I will accept it. Life is just unfair. But life became so beautiful, so relaxing, because now when I pull over to a stop sign, I go, well, if life is unfair, why should I expect him to turn the blinkers? So when the guy comes straight that I think he's passing by me because there's no blinkers on, and then the last second he makes a turn, I go, what do you expect? Life is just unfair. So it's so interesting that this thought has changed everything. But because we went over 5 minutes, I will elaborate in most probably my last clip for next week. Until then, have yourself a wonderful day. If you like this video, please click on the like. Oh, you want me to stop saying it? I know I hate saying it either, but if you guys start doing it, I won't say it anymore. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, sometimes there's good stuff on this channel, you never know. But the main thing is, always do remember that you are way greater than you think you are.